Welcome back to the NAR Comic News Network, where we expose the latest in theological gymnastics and economic miracles, or at least attempts at miracles. In tonight's top story, the prosperity gospel prophets of the New Apostolic Reformation are finding themselves in a bit of a divine dilemma. After years of proclaiming that a certain president was sent by God to usher in a golden age of wealth, dominion, and, personal jet upgrades, they're now facing an inconvenient truth. The economy is tanking, their followers are broke, and worst of all, their donations are drying up faster than a televangelist's tears at a tax audit. But fear not, dear viewers, because when the love of money is the root of all their preaching, creative fundraising is their spiritual gift. Just as the stock market plummets and the faithful find themselves choosing between groceries and a miracle seed offering, the NAR prophets have come up with a brand new scheme to keep the money flowing. And this one's a doozy. Introducing the Divine Economic Stimulus Package, where believers are promised supernatural financial recovery in exchange for one small act of faith, emptying whatever remains in their bank accounts directly into the hands of their favorite anointed leader. According to their latest revelation, which conveniently came just as their own church mortgages were due, God has supposedly been withholding prosperity because believers haven't given enough to his chosen generals, who, totally coincidentally, happen to be the ones making this announcement. The logic is simple. If you're struggling financially, it's because you haven't trusted God enough to go completely bankrupt. And nothing says faith like wiring your last paycheck to a preacher broadcasting from his lakeside mansion. This movement, which some are calling Prosperity Bailout 2.0 Holy Inflation Edition, comes with a divine promise that God will miraculously refill the accounts of the faithful at some undefined point in the future, or, in heaven, which conveniently avoids any need for refunds. And for those concerned about the lack of biblical basis for this new strategy, fear not. One prophet has assured his followers that he received a direct vision from the Lord. In this vision, Jesus himself appeared wearing a suit made of gold bars and handed the prophet a celestial checkbook with unlimited withdrawals, but only for those who sowed a significant financial seed. Meanwhile, in a truly miraculous turn of events, while the followers of these leaders are struggling to afford gas, the prophets themselves are unveiling new additions to their personal fleets of private jets and custom Rolls-Royces. One NAR megachurch even announced that they are planning to construct an extravagant economic revival center, which sounds suspiciously like a 12,000-square-foot vacation home in the Bahamas. When questioned about why the financial blessings only seem to flow in one direction, one apostle explained, "It's just like how rain falls from the sky. It has to go up before it comes down. So naturally, the money has to flow to us first before God can bless you back." Critics are calling this latest move a spiritual Ponzi scheme, but the apostles assure their followers that they are completely wrong. It's not a Ponzi scheme, one prophet clarified, because in a Ponzi scheme, someone gets rich at the end. Here, all the real treasure is stored up in heaven. Which reminds me, our next prophetic giving campaign is called Heavenly Wealth Transfer, Platinum Edition, where those who give the most will receive a special scroll with an official heavenly endorsement. So for now, keep an eye on your wallets and an ear out for the next big prophetic pitch, because if history has taught us anything, it's that when the going gets tough, the televangelists get richer. Thanks for tuning in to the NAR Comic News Network, where we may not have divine favor, but at least we have common sense.